This is People of the State of Michigan versus Louise Collier, docket number 18-991FH. And just double checking I have everyone I need, right? Yes. This is the time set for what was planned to be a contested hearing on a probation violation. Mr. Collier, I previously advised you of the maximum penalty you're looking at, which is up to 20 years in prison. Also, I told you about your right to an attorney and your right to a contested hearing. And although I read the charges to you, there is an amendment, and I received notification that Agent Gleason wants to add a count 2 that says on or about December 27 of last year, you failed to report to Adam on your scheduled date to test. So that's in addition to the one that I already read to you. And you are represented by counsel, Mr. Milks. Mr. Milks, how are we proceeding on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. Stephen Milks on behalf of Mr. Collier. It's my understanding that we are both waiving our in-court appearance due to the COVID pandemic. After explaining everything to my client regarding his rights to a probation violation hearing, it is my understanding he wishes to waive that right and enter a plea today to both allegations, including the one added by the court. I did have an opportunity to go over that with my client.
Very good, thank you. Is that correct, Mr. Collier?
Yes, but one was a complicated matter.
Okay, well, I will give you a chance that when we get to the sentencing part of it to speak, and you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but just fair notice, prior to that, if you're going to plead, I'm going to ask you, did you violate probation? And you'll have to be able to tell me that you did, or else I can't take your plea. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
Your Honor.
Would you raise your right hand then, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Collier, as I told you before, you have the right to a contested hearing. If you plead guilty, you won't have a contested hearing, and you'll give up the rights that go along with it. That includes the right to be represented by an attorney at the hearing, the right to have the allegations proven, the right to have the witnesses against you appear at the hearing and to be able to cross-examine them, the right to have this court order any witnesses that you might have to appear at the hearing, and also the right to testify yourself at the hearing if you wanted to. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
I had to wait for a deputy to leave the courtroom before I could take my mask off. Has anyone made any promises to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Anyone used any threats or other forms of coercion?
No, ma'am.
Pressure? Okay. Are you pleading guilty because you believe you did violate probation?
Yes.
Okay, then the first one that I had was that you had a confirmed consumption of alcohol on your scram tether.
Yes.
Did you have a consumption of alcohol?
Yes, under certain conditions I did.
Okay.
It's complicated.
I understand, and you can tell me more about that, but you agree that you did have a confirmed alcohol consumption report on your scram, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then the one that was added is that you didn't report to Adam on your scheduled day on December 27, is that true?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, the court finds the plea is understandingly, voluntarily, and knowingly made. It is supported by the testimony. The plea of guilty is accepted. Mr. Collier is found guilty of probation violation. And Agent Gleason, is there a recommendation?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I've spoken with Agent Flynn, who's the supervising agent, and it's being recommended that we extend Scram 90 days and that he continue his outpatient treatment and continue to test at Adam. And then the plan is to have all that finished up so he can discharge as scheduled in May.
Okay, sounds good. And Mr. Milks?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the I guess complicated or messy part of this is my client was with a female friend, and he had bought alcohol And the two of them were not drinking strictly. She was drinking, and it was hard liquor. And even based on the Scram Tether reports, it does support that there was, actually, I had to call up another probation officer due to kissing and everything else was going on that he did violate. Now, I will note, Your Honor, that he did buy the alcohol for her when he shouldn't be buying alcohol, when the concern that this court is going to have is regarding his alcohol consumption. The highest level that he reached was a 0.04, and he was going up in roughly increments of 0.005. Your Honor, I did not believe any of this at first, and I thought it was kind of silly and stupid. I've heard the cocaine defense when we were in flagrante delicto kind of thing, the cocaine STD thing. But in this matter, Your Honor, it actually does kind of make sense. I appreciate that my client was saying that, you know, I did not actually take a drink from a glass. However, I knew that she was drinking, and the way that things were going up, and that he did violate by at least being in possession of alcohol. And obviously he did blow 0.04, and he's not denying that whatsoever, Your Honor. I think this was silly, and I think it was foolish, and I think Mr. Collier knows that too. And so I would ask that the court adopt the recommendation. I believe that's fair in this situation. Thank you.
Okay, and now you, Mr. Collier, what else would you like to say?
Far as that matter is concerned, he pretty much summed it up. I was kind of baffled at the readings at first because I was confused myself, but we was kissing and making out throughout the time period from where I started reading till over the night period and in the morning. So I had realized at that point myself where it came from. I thought I was probably cleaning my place, chemicals or something that triggered it, but obviously it was the exchange of fluids when we was kissing and she was drinking. And I was aware that she was drinking, but I didn't assume that I would be vulnerable to her drinking by kissing. It was a foolish mistake on my part. And far as the miss, I did miss that that drop because Adams only let you drop in the mornings on the weekend, and overslept that Sunday.
All right.
And I thought I made it up that Monday morning, but it say I ain't go to the Tuesday morning. I don't know if they was closed or not, but I did violate on that part.
All right.
I want to add that I have paid off all my fines, and I've been attending outpatient treatment.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So, you know, I have the same reaction that Mr. Milks had. I thought, I don't believe that you can test for alcohol this way. But I don't know unless I hear expert testimony about the scram, and I can't make that conclusion, but that's my gut feeling. And especially, Mr. Collier, I'm going to be especially suspicious when, you know, you have a history of issues with alcohol. You even picked up while you were on probation a new operating while intoxicated, it looks like, charge. So, you know, be that as it may, the recommendation is to continue on probation and just extend the period of scram. And I think that is a fine recommendation, and all your other terms and conditions of probation are still going to apply. And remember that along with the standard condition of probation that you can't consume alcohol, you can't possess alcohol. So even if we could get by this, we were kissing and she was drinking thing, I was told you bought the alcohol for her, so you possessed it. So just remember, you cannot have that kind of contact with alcohol. So I will continue you on probation, and as I said, I'll adopt the recommendation of the extension of 90 days on the SCRAM, and all other terms and conditions will remain in effect. And Mr. Collier, you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense to assist you in doing that. If you're making a request for one, you have to make it within 42 days of today's date. It explains that more on the form that we will send to you. And unless you have any questions, then we are all set with this one.
I have one question. Does it
Yes, sir.
start, does my extension start today or from when I was supposed to get off?
It starts from when you were supposed to get off, so it's an extension of the term that I already ordered.
Okay.
Okay?